So I'm going to keep it real honest and to the point. This topic that I'm going to discuss, I knew about it. I knew about TS Madison receiving a backlash about what she said about the whole incident involving Shanquella Robinson. Okay? But I chose to take a step back with this one because I had already commented a couple of days prior. And there were some people, coming at me. And I'm used to it because it happened 2 years prior. So I said, you know what? Let me just let it simmer down. And I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to give you my opinion. And it's going to shock some of you all. Hey, good evening, everyone. I hope your Thanksgiving was wonderful. I hope you enjoyed it with your family and friends, even if you was by yourself like me. Okay. Yes, I just stayed. Well, I went outside, of course, because you saw me on my live and everything. But besides that, I basically did have my own Thanksgiving dinner, which was mashed potatoes, which was string beans. It was collard greens with smoked turkey. I couldn't eat the macaroni because for all of you women, my thing came and I can't have cheese when it comes. So I had to put the macaroni on hold. I'm about to eat my truffle candies. I didn't eat meat at all for my own personal reason. I just kept it light. So moving on. We got to talk about this thing with TS Madison. So, on Saturday morning, when the news broke out about, well, not the news, but when the question came up about whether daejhanaejackson, one of the Cabo 6 members of the infamous friend group that helps to delete Shanquella Robinson, when we were all asked, and include myself, if daejhanaejackson was a transgender woman because of the photo side by side, and also because of some of the other looks. One of the people that did speak out was TS Madison, and she gave a Twitter response to all the commotion involving that question. And this is what she tweeted at TS Madison ATL1. Now, why would someone even start that kind of lie on a trans person? And you people immediately believe that bogus S. That was not true. No transgender woman beat Shanquella Robinson to deletion. It was one of her own. You people immediately ran with that lie. Now, this is what is going on. So I'm going to go back first and I'm going to give you an update. Okay. So TS Madison ended up receiving backlash from it because many people felt as though TS Madison didn't discuss this topic and it came off like she didn't seem like she really was concerned about the topic and the conversations behind it until daejhanaejackson was accused of being a transgender woman. That claim was made. So she basically came out of her bag and was like, one of your own, which is a biological woman, just like Shanquella, did that to her. Don't try to stick that on my community. So I want to give a shout out to James Caldwell, aka Spiller Boy TV, because he did a great live on Sunday, coming into the wee hours of Monday morning, basically saying it was not the transgender community that did this to her. Okay, now was it the gay men? Because allegedly Khalil and Malik, they are on the low. They're in the closet. Well, maybe not Malik, but Khalil is in the closet. Supposedly, they took part of that, but it was not a trans woman. Now, I posed the question because I was like, well, is it based on the photos? Now, here's my assessment of this. TS Madison is right, but also not necessarily wrong, but she had to understand why she received. She has to understand why she received the backlash. She's not wrong for checking people who basically was like, a trans woman did this to Shanquella. I never said a trans woman did. I basically asked the question, if Daejhanae was a trans woman, is she a trans woman, yes or no? Now, she's hard in the face. Let's be real. And I'm not talking about the photo that they photoshopped, because I don't believe that Daejhanae is a trans woman. But there's photos of her that are not very appealing. That she does have a very roughness about her. And there are a lot of biological women that do have that. So TS Madison's like, listen, why are y'all trying to scapegoat my community and pin something like that on us when we didn't do it? And it's wrong. And that can bring more assaults into my community, our community, and it can cause harm. I'm 100% behind her sentiment on that. However, what T.S. Madison has to understand is that had you mentioned Shanquella before that happened publicly, then maybe the backlash wouldn't have came so strong. Now, T.S. Madison did not have to run out and talk about Shanquella. She doesn't have to. Even if she never did, she wasn't doing anything wrong. Okay? The problem in this whole thing is that there are people that expect others to do things so that they can be satisfied. So they expected T.S. Madison to talk about this topic, about Shanquella Robinson from the beginning. And T.S. Madison probably either had other things on her plate, or maybe it was so painful for T.S. Madison to talk about it because we don't know. Maybe T.S. Madison could have been bullied at one time to where T.S. Madison's life could have been endangered. We don't know. Seeing that video online, I came across so many people's, not comments, but on Facebook, like, update statuses, and people basically were talking about they were reliving trauma when they were attacked in school by a bunch of girls being bullied. So it could have happened to T.S. Madison. We don't know. Yes, she's a transgender woman, but maybe she got attacked by some men. Maybe T.S. got attacked by, it could have relived trauma. T.S. Madison hasn't had an easy life. It's just gotten easier the last couple of years. But when that statement was made, being that T.S. Madison has a huge voice and represents her community, I think pretty well, it's like, no. You're not going to do that to us. You're not going to do that to our community. And let's be honest, if there was a bunch of, white girls that jumped another white girl, and they accused one of them of being a mulatto and basically having a black father and being biracial or being just a high yellow girl, we would come and say, don't put her on our community. We don't you dare. She is a white girl, and that's what it is. She's white just like the rest of them, okay? If the tables were different, if they was all white, and they'd be like, oh, so-and-so, she was a mulatto, Her name isn't really, her name really isn't Amber. Her name is really Aisha. Yeah. No. No, she is white. So that's what I think this is all boiling down to. But the thing is that the Mexican government is calling it femicide because they believe that Daejhanae is a trans woman based on the photos. That's why they called it a femicide. So I think at the end of the day, when all said and done, I don't feel bad for Daejhanae. Now, I would say the community. Now, I asked the question because it was an honest question. I'm a blogger. So I asked that question. I wasn't being malicious. I was just asking the question. I'm going to be honest. I was. Now, I did get some backlash from some people. And what I will say is this. I'm open to dialogue. about the conversation. Whoever was the person that screenshotted, I think that it could have been a white person. It could have been somebody who was a friend or family member. Not friend. I would say somebody who just didn't like what happened to Shanquella and saw Daejhanae being a dark-skinned black woman with very strong features. It probably was like, you know what, we're going to ruin this girl. Because let's be honest about this with the Mexican government. Winter Donovan looks more as a transgender woman than Daejhanae. If we really want to be technical and be authentic with this whole topic, Winter Donovan looks more like she could be in that community than Daejhanae. But they're not seeking out Winter as that. They're not claiming that she's such because of phenotype. Okay? Phenotype. And like I said in my other thing, they're not trying to go after Winter hard like Daejhanae. And it's not just because Daejhanae was the one that was caught, beating her on film. And it was filmed. So let me know your opinions. Let me know what y'all think of this. And I'll be back soon with another commentary. Okay? Because I have breaking news. All right? Later. Talk to y'all soon.